Right.
And then you have like Marcus and Derek. He gets up to be.
All right.
Some people have that ability.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody in this room, everybody out there in internet land. I'm Reverend Debbie. This is Center for Spiritual Living Minneapolis. And our statement for truth is there's a power for good in the universe, greater than we are, and we are always using it. So this is all about consciously using it, right? Which is why our mission here is to teach, demonstrate, and inspire that positive spiritual approach to living. And now is a good time to check your cell phones, because we have the fabulous music of Claire today, and I want to make sure that we all get to listen to it. And with that, here she comes.
Well, you better be clapping for yourself because you're singing with me to start out. You ready to roll?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms, keep it company. I like to see the world for once standing hand in hand, and hear it echo through the hills of peace throughout the land. That's a song I hear. Let the world sing today. We can all find a way. That's a song I hear. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms, keep it company. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, and hear it echo around the world, throughout the galaxy. That's a song I hear. Let the world sing today. We can all find a way. That's a song I hear. That's a song I hear. Let the world sing today. We can all find a way. That's the song I sing.
Thank you. That's a great way to start the morning off. All right, and now we're not done working yet, because we have a group reading to bring us right back into this place. So join me as we know the truth. I am ready to deepen my conviction in the power and presence for good. I am ready to apply it in my daily life. I am ready to receive God's highest blessings. I am ready to live from a higher level of beingness. I am ready to be a transformative light in the world. Amen, huh? So let's center that, if you would just join me. Let's just start with a simple little prayer as we breathe together, remembering our truth. God is, I am. God is and I am, and there's just so much to be grateful for. So I know that this celebration is flawless, that everything unfolds as it should, that we hear what we need to hear, we say what we need to say, and our hearts continue to open throughout not only this lovely day, but throughout all of our life. In this moment, I just say thank you. Thank you for the knowing that God is and I am, and that is the truth of divine partnership. And so it is. Okay. Now it's time to light the flames of faith. And I'm thinking, Joan, will you join me? You don't have a lighter, though. Yeah. So she's going to get us a lighter, and I'm going to tell you why we're doing the flames of faith. We're doing the flames of faith because we believe that there is one divine intelligence, one power, one love. There's just one. And there's so many paths to the one, and we honor all paths. So this little ceremony is all about acknowledging some of the more traditional paths to the one in the order that they've been recognized. So we start with the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. Perfect. Thank you very much. And now I invite all of us to take a moment and just recognize that flame within. That part of our heart, that part of our soul, that part of our being that truly, truly knows that we have the power to choose. We have the power to live from that place of oneness and to allow healing to naturally flow through our world. There we go. That's the truth. Okay, now what are we going to do next? Okay, so next we're going to have an inspirational reading by Alicia.
Good morning. Okay, there are, Joanne has selected a few quotes from Ernest Holmes on the topic of success. This one is from A New Design for Living from 1959. One of the most difficult things for anyone to realize is that he is always a success. As contradictory as that may seem, it is nevertheless true. We are always being successful. We are always achieving the goal we have set up for ourselves in thought. Some people may win themselves terrific success at always being a failure in business. Others may succeed in always experiencing ill health. Still, others always succeed in being friendless. We always succeed, so our immediate problem is not one of success, but what kind of success we are having. The second one is from This Thing Called Life, which was published in 1943. There's a definite relationship between a successful life and one's inward thought patterns. It is impossible for one to be successful unless he has mentally identified himself with his desire. Consciously or unconsciously, he must have had a mental pattern of what he wishes to become. And the third and final one from Holmes is from Richer Living from 1953. Success does not mean the accumulation of wealth, the maintenance of a position, nor the supremacy of power. Success means a life free from burden of anxiety and liberated from the thraldoms of fear. There is no successful life without peace or without that inner spiritual certainty which knows that the soul is on its pathway of good, forever expanding into the conscious union of God with man. And a final excerpt from this book from Joan Chittister, The Gift of Years. In the end, it becomes so clear. Success is much simpler a thing than they ever told us. It has to do with having the basics, with learning to be happy, with getting in touch with our spiritual selves, with living a balanced life, doing no harm, doing nothing but good. The only test of a good life is here is happiness. The burden of false success is that it creates an artificial standard that follows us through our entire lives, leaving us in fear, leaves us in a state of perpetual discontentment, too tight to enjoy retirement, too invested in the elements of life that do not last. The blessing of real success lies in the fact that sometimes in life we can come to the point where we never overemphasize any one side of it again. Instead, we come to live easily and fully in all aspects of it.
Okay, Claire, you gonna make us work again?
Huh?
You gonna make us work again?
Not this time.
Oh, good. Sit back, relax, and listen to Claire.
I chose this song because not only was it my dad's favorite, but it holds this wonderful nugget, this seed of truth that it's so simple and wonderful. It's called Nature Boy. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far over land and sea. He was a little shy, sad of eye, but very wise was he. Then one day, that magic day, he passed my way, and as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. He was a little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. Then one day, that magic day, he passed my way, as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
Very pretty. Okay, we're on the topic of pretty. Here comes Reverend Joanne.
Thank you. That was lovely. I loved that. You did it so well. So, good morning, and thank you for that music. Thank you for the reading, Alicia, and thank you, Reverend Debbie, for everything you do all the time. So this month of August, we've been talking about words to the wise, and if you have a program, it always tells the theme on the front of the program, and then on the back of the program, it'll say, like August 3rd, Reverend Debbie talked about the wisdom of knowing. The next Sunday, I talked about the wisdom of being. Then last Sunday, Reverend Debbie talked about the wisdom of healing. And today, the title is The Wisdom of Succeeding. Now, we're not going to talk about the 10 steps to success. We're not going to talk about the top 5 winning attitudes. We're not going to talk about the 7 ways to turn failure into success. Well, we're going to talk about some basics of what's behind all success, basic wisdom. That's what we're after today. And a lot of this stuff is really part of our Science of Mind philosophy. I'm going to start out with a parable just to kind of set the stage. There was this farmer, and every year he would win a blue ribbon at the state fair for the best corn. And one year, a newspaper reporter said to him, he said, "You win this every year. What's your secret?" And the guy kind of surprised the reporter when he said, he said that for years he'd been sharing his prize-winning seed with his neighbors. It was his secret, sharing his seed with his neighbors. And the reporter thought, well, that seems crazy because you're competing with your neighbors and yet you're giving them your prize-winning seed. He said, don't you want to win this contest? And the guy said, the farmer says, yeah, I do want to win the contest, but what I really want to do is grow the best corn possible. And to grow the best corn possible, I have to share my seed. Because what happens is as the corn grows and the pollen swirls around the fields, if they've got lesser than pollen in their corn, it's going to land in my field too, and I can't have that. I want everybody to have the good stuff. So if I'm going to grow good corn, I have to help my neighbor grow good corn. And it's kind of a metaphor for lots of things in life, the idea of sharing. So we glean from this parable that in order for anyone to truly succeed, we must help others succeed. And there's 2 reasons that's true, and both of them have to do with the fundamental principles that we adhere to in Science of Mind. The first is there is one life, that life is God, and that life is my life now. This idea of oneness. We are all one. Sort of like, fingers on your hand. You wouldn't cut off a finger. It's part of you. It's part of you, even though sometimes things look separate. We are all one. It's not just my life, it's everybody's life. St. Augustine said, God loves each of us as if there were only one of us. Very touching. And this means we're deeply connected to each other. We are, like Rumi said, he said, we're not a drop in the ocean, but the ocean in a drop, and we all come from the same ocean. We are all of the same essence. So as I succeed, it behooves me to lift up others to succeed as well in every way I can. And how can we do that? Well, we can simply do it by prayer. Praying each and every day and just blessing each person and knowing they're being uplifted, they're being led. We can encourage people, we can meditate, we can celebrate each person's good. Something happens to you that's good, I celebrate it. I don't say, well, why not me? We celebrate each other's good. We raise the consciousness. And then the second reason that we must help others to succeed is there's a universal law that operates in a reciprocal manner. What goes into it comes back, pressed down, multiplied, and running over. That was one of Dee Ray's favorite concepts. She loved to hear about that, opening up to the good, that things were just so big and so good they were running over. Holmes says, if we want a friend, we must be a friend. If we want to be free from suffering, we have to stop inflicting suffering. If we want love, we have to love, no matter what anybody thinks of us. If we no longer want to be condemned, we've got to stop condemning. So in this teaching, the belief is that our higher power is for us, that our higher power's divine will, our higher power's desire for us is to have good, to experience beauty and the wonder of the world. God, the universe is for us. And if we don't do that, if we, don't use our minds for good, and if we're thinking about hatred, and if we're thinking about judgment and all that kind of stuff, that stifles spirit within. Spirit wants to have a good ride, and what Spirit does for us, it does through us. That's one of our beliefs in this science of mind philosophy. So we really know that the good that is out there for us is what Spirit desires for us. We don't have to beg, bless me, give me good. Just be open to it and know that that is what Spirit is wanting from you, because Spirit is experiencing in, through, and as you. So now let's just take a look at what is success. And there's lots of different definitions for success. One of them is, of course, got a lot of money, I'm successful. But as we know, we all know people or heard stories about people that have a lot of money that we would not call successful, because it ends up upside down for them. I was looking at some examples of people that won the lottery. And it's not everybody that wins the lottery that screws it up, but a lot of people that win the lottery don't know what to do with it. They use it in ways that aren't very wise, and some of them actually 5 years from the time they win the lottery end up filing bankruptcy. They've given away, spent their money, invested their money in poor ways, and their money's gone. So just having a lot of money certainly isn't the formula for success. Other people might define success as achieving great power and influence. And you look at today's world, you look at history, and we certainly see it. I mean, it just baffles me, especially in our face are the entertainers that, I think of Judy Garland, who I just love. And, from the time she was a little kid, they were feeding her, here's a go-to-sleep pill, here's a wake-up pill. She didn't have a chance, and she ended up letting alcohol and pills kind of rule her life. I wouldn't call that a success. Michael Jackson, Prince, these people got hooked on these things that they thought were going to make their life better. They were certainly successful in what they did, their talents, but then what happened? That is not always the formula for success. I think about people like Harvey Weinstein. He's the one that, he was a big mogul in the movie business, gave a lot of people a lot of opportunities, and he's the one that was misbehaving with a lot of the women that he helped move to the top, and he's ended up in prison and very sick. Not a success at all. So achieving great success and influence over people certainly isn't one of the formulas that works in the long run for success. Some people would say, well, I know someone's successful by the status symbols, by the car they drive, by the house they live in, by the clothes they wear. I can see they're successful. And yet there's a lot of statistics now about teenagers, and these teenagers come from affluent families. They come from families with 3-car garages, and they've had everything they could possibly want, and yet they're not successful. They're into drugs, they're into bullying, they're not living the life either. So we know that these status symbols are not the true sign of success either. Maybe true success is living a life, and I think Alicia read it. I think it was from the Chittister, the Chittister book. Maybe freedom, maybe a life free from burden of anxiety and fear is what success comes from. Living a life free from anxiety and fear. And the other thing that I think is having a consciousness of love. You know, that's one of the qualities of our higher power, love with a capital L. And when we are in that, you know, really absorbing that, in embracing that quality of love, we are much more likely to be successful. We're much more likely to live a life free from anxiety and fear. Wayne Dyer says, he compares this, he says, to squeezing a handful of water. If you squeeze a handful of water, you have less and less water as you squeeze. It all goes away and leaves you wanting more. And he said that's, you know, that idea of wanting more and just hoarding that kind of stuff, that is not a formula for success either. Love-based motivation is as simple as using our God-given talents for good. And how do we go about that? Well, one of the ways to do that is make a commitment to do that, set an intention to do that. And each day as we get up, I think, to me, it makes sense to each morning as we get up, put some good stuff up here. Grab a one day at a time, whether it's from AA or Al-Anon or from, I read the Unity Daily Word, I read Science of Mind magazine one day at a time, and by the time the month is over, I have read every article in that Science of Mind magazine. Why? It feeds my soul, it lifts me up, it gets me, helps get me through the day. In the Bible, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still, and in the silence, in the quietness of your being, connect with God. And we can make a commitment to do that each and every day. And then as the day goes on, continue to let that light that you've lit in the morning, you've fueled yourself up, let that light radiate, let that light shine on other people and everything going on in your life. It's really important to be conscious of our thoughts all the time. And it's important to remember to keep our thoughts positive and constructive. And we can do that. We are in charge of our thoughts. I know some people think, well, I can't, my mind just, yeah, you are in charge of your thoughts. You know, get real, sit down and make a note. I am going to put these thoughts in my head. This is what I'm going to do. And keep your thoughts positive and constructive. And that allows Spirit to have a part in your life during the day. I like the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson. He writes such beautiful stuff. And here's what he says about success. This is how he defined it. He said, to have laughed often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you lived. This is to have succeeded. Isn't that beautiful? To know even one life has breathed better because you lived. That is to have succeeded. There's a New Thought minister called Dr. Joseph Murphy. He wrote a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and he says, you must be sure that the thing you want to do does not reduce to your success only. Again, this idea of sharing. Your desire must not be selfish. It must benefit humanity. The path of a complete circuit must be formed. In other words, your idea must go forth with the purpose of blessing or serving the world. I don't know if anybody saw this movie called Sound of Freedom. It's about child trafficking. It's not a fun movie to watch, but it's an important movie to watch and see the reality, because I think this does not get the attention that it probably deserves, that this is still going on. I read someplace that there's more slavery based on this stuff today than in the days of legalized slavery. This is under the radar. And so how do we make a difference there? Well, certainly we can't make a difference until we're aware of it, till we open our eyes and be willing to watch some of this stuff and see that is horrible what's going on. I had one of my favorite vacations in the last couple days. I go up to the Hinckley area, meet a cousin of mine who has a cabin there, and meet a couple of my sisters. We have lunch, then we go out to the cabin and we solve world problems. And this is one of the problems that was discussed. My sister and my cousin had seen that movie, and my cousin was really moved by it. And she said at this point, she has been just really financially supporting the areas that could help these trafficked kids. They got to have a place to put them when they are finally freed, and have safe houses, etc. But we just talked about the fact that yes, these are things that we can be aware of. We can pray about them, and we can learn, what is my part in this? How can I shine my light to make a difference in this area, or whatever area is of concern and on your heart? Murphy says, when we do this, it will come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. If it is to benefit yourself exclusively, the circle or complete circuit is not formed, and you may experience a short circuit in your life, which may consist of limitation or sickness. So it's really important to know that this isn't for us. Our light, that light within us that we work on every morning, every Sunday morning, that light is there for us to radiate and shine. And the highest level of success is achieved when we are open to love, capital L, that God quality, and to be a giver of life, because that's God's nature. That's why the farmer was saying, I got to give the seed away, because that comes back to me. That is a God quality. Holmes says in Science of Mind text, he says, to each is given what he needs, and the gifts of heaven come alike to all. How shall we use these gifts in all that matters? So this is something that each and every one of us, it's important for us to think about. How are we using our gifts? Are we using them to bring laughter and joy and comfort and guidance and love, or not? Are we using them to remember that we're worthy of respect, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, and as Emerson says, to leave the world a bit better, and to know even one life has breathed easier because you lived? That should be our goal as far as success is concerned. And if we've done that, then we've discovered the wisdom of succeeding. So this week, I'd like to suggest that besides counting your blessings this week, count your successes. Where in your life have you done something that makes you feel good? Opened your heart, got your God juices flowing. Think about that every day. And then I would also suggest that this week, have fun. learn something, and help somebody else along the way. When we do that, I think we add to this vibration of success. So with that, I would like to invite you to take a deep breath, get settled in your seat, and I will do a spiritual mind treatment around these words. I know there is but one power in the universe. And that power is all good. It is love, it is joy, it is peace, it is abundance, balance, and order. And I am a living embodiment of those qualities. And they lead to success. I know that that very power which created everything and everyone is the power which experiences life in, through, and as me, in, through, and as its creation. And with that power within, I speak these words right here and right now, even though in the past I've mistakenly looked to the idea of money and influence or status symbols for success. Past I might have done that. I now remember that true success for me is to live in this life of love, be enveloped by the love of God. Then I can be free of the burden of anxiety and fear. It's being in touch with my inner peace. That's where our success comes from. And I set an intention to keep my thoughts positive and constructive. I center on love and allow Spirit to guide me. And I'm grateful that this is the way the law works. I speak my word, and it is done unto me as I believe. I plant that seed like the farmer did, and know that it is done unto me as I believe. And I release these words now to that beneficent conspiracy and say, and so it is.
Here's clearing my throat. Here's a tune by Sonia Lee, and it's kind of that pebble in the pond concept.
I give, you need. I thirst, you feed. I fall, you rise. We share the tide. Ripples in the water in the deep blue sea, flowing all together in a family, rolling with the tide, blowing in the wind. Give a kind word, get it back again. Show a little love, shine a little light, takes a little darkness out of the night. Everything we do flows into one another, ripples in the water. I smile, you feel. I hurt, you heal. I grieve, you cry. You pray, I fly. Ripples in the water in the deep blue sea, flowing all together as a family, rolling with the tide, blowing in the wind. Give a kind word, get it back again. Show a little love, shine a little light, takes a little darkness out of the night. Everything we do flows into one another, ripples in the water. You may not know my name, but we all feel the same. With one toss of a stone, no, we're never alone. Ripples in the water in the deep blue sea, flowing all together as a family, rolling with the tide, blowing in the wind. Give a kind word, get it back again. Show a little love, shine a little light, takes a little darkness out of the night. Everything we do flows into one another, ripples in the water. All world's children, all your sons and daughters, ripples in the water. Ripples in the water. Ripples in the water.
You know, it's so amazing to me how Spirit just demonstrates every time, right? The music always supports the talk, and it's not like we have this long conversation beforehand. It just sort of, so joyous. Okay, now is our time for conscious giving. Actually, we're changing it from conscious giving to consistently consciously giving, okay? The idea of whether you're in this room or you're on the internet, we're here as a community. And it is the community that needs to support the community. And Spirit takes really good care of this community. And this community takes really good care of this center, of this community. And for that, I am thankful. And I'm asking us to be more consistent in that support. So let us take this lovely gift we are about to give of financial goodness. Let us just take it to heart. Let us just breathe into it, that energy from our heart, that energy that allows it to go out and do such great work, allows it to come back, pressed down, multiplied, and shaken together. And I just say thank you for this opportunity to be of service in this way. Because it's all about being of service as ripples in the water. All right, here we go.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are thankful for the gifts. We are thankful for the givers. We are thankful for this community. And we have a gift for you, and that is the gift of affirmative prayer. So you can fill out a spiritual mind treatment request on the table. You can see either myself or Joanne or Dee Dee or Celeste or Jeff after the service, and we can do a short little prayer. You can fill out a request online. There's just so many ways, but please know that the staff of this community holds all of this community in our highest and best on a regular daily basis. So we have another gift for you guys, which is choking me up. Okay, and that is the gift of spiritual practice and community. So, come September, everybody should be back from their cabins, at least for a little while, and last-minute vacations. So starting on Sunday, September 14th, going for 3 Sundays in a row, we are going to do a little mini spiritual practice class, Reverend Joanne and I. We've put this class together. Each of them will stand alone, but I'm hoping you're here for all 3 of them. We are going to end the service early, do fellowship, and at 11:15, we're going to gather for 45 minutes. And we are going to talk about different spiritual practices and share how we're implementing these tools into our world. And then, in support of that, on Wednesday evenings, from 7 to 7:45, we're going to do a really quick book discussion based on this thing called you. And they're going hand in hand with each other, but they also stand separate on their own. If you have not done a class or a book discussion with Joanne and I, you're kind of missing out on some good times, because we can be kind of funny and a little, what did you call it earlier today, Celeste? Edgy. We can be a little edgy. Anyway, so this September 14th. And this is a gift for you, and at the end, we'll see how it changes everything up. If you have friends or family that are curious as to what you're doing on Sundays hanging out with us, or why you always have a smile on your face, despite the crazies happening, this is a perfect opportunity to invite them here. Because it's going to be basic and personal and just a lot of fun. So that's my pitch. September 14th, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, yes.
So Sunday's September 14th, and then is it the Wednesday following?
Yes, the Wednesday following. And for the Wednesday class, you need to sign up on the website, not because there's a fee, but because we're going to do it via Zoom. And we don't really want to just send the Zoom link out to the world, because I've been Zoom bombed twice and it's never going to happen again. So anyway, you need to sign up on the website to get the Zoom link, and that's that story. Here's the other thing we're going to start doing in September. You guys know we sent out some surveys, and everybody wants to participate more, so here we go. Starting Sunday, the first Sunday in September, you have an opportunity to adopt a Sunday. You can feed us, light us up, you can read, and you can greet. So, feeding, greeting, lighting, and reading. So, there you go, all verbs. Let's do it. Anyway, there's a sign-up sheet. You don't have to do all 4 of them, right? You just sign up for what floats your boat. Because we all have a boat. And is there anything else I'm forgetting? Oh, Anthony's going to come up because, he's been doing some exciting things outside of Sunday around here.
So I just wanted to say again that I've got another exhibit going on at Wells Fargo Place. Downtown St. Paul is getting a tremendous response, so I invite you, if you get the chance, to visit it. It will be through October 31st, and then I will change out with some more artists.
And the theme?
I've seen it, it's gorgeous.
Yes, Celeste has seen it, and the theme, it is called Avian Night Sky, and it is 3 artists that came together, 2 painters and a poet, and it's quite the collaboration. So please, if you get a chance. Regular daytime business hours, it's on the Skyway level. Wells Fargo Place on Wabasha and 7th.
Is that like 8 to 5?
Yeah, I would say 8 to 5. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so Jeff will figure out how to put a link on our website. So you can go there and get where you need to go. I know. You know, there's some real challenges being married to me. I don't even know where to start, but it's all good. So with that, are we excited about September? I'm excited about September. Yeah, Joanne and I have had a really good time putting this stuff together. So come celebrate our work with us. I'm going to pray us out. Joanne's going to bless us out. We're going to all sing out with Claire. And then we're going to have something sweet and coffee. With that, let us just take one more of those wonderful breaths together, because in this moment, what I know is that I have been spiritually fed. I've been spiritually fed by the energy in this room, by the love in this room, by the words, by the music, by the community. And in this moment, community is so important. So I say thank you for this gathering. Thank you for these gifts. Thank you for these incredible, incredible individuals full of love and oneness and awareness. And I just release all of this knowing that all is well and all will be well. And so it is.
May you be at peace. May you know the beauty of your own true nature. May your heart be open. May you be healed. May you be blessed. Namaste.
Namaste.
There we go. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yes, the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yes, the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see.